Dear Starseeds on Gaia, a miracle is being prepared for you right now. Not next year, not next month, but right now. As you listen to these words, and the signs are everywhere, in those strange midnight cravings for chocolate and ice cream, in that irresistible pull to cancel your plans and stay home, and in the way strangers keep staring at you in public like they're seeing something they can't quite explain. What if I told you that these aren't random occurrences, but divine markers of a transformation so profound that what's waiting for you on the other side will completely revolutionize not just your personal reality, but your understanding of what it means to be human during this cosmic moment? I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I've been authorized to reveal to you what's really happening during these sacred moments when you feel like you're retreating from the world. But before I explain the magnitude of what's unfolding, I need you to understand something crucial. This message will only make sense if you're ready to hear it. And the fact that you're here, listening to these words right now, that tells me everything I need to know about your readiness. You see, while you've been judging yourself for becoming what you might call antisocial, while you've been wondering why you suddenly need so much alone time, something extraordinary has been happening in dimensions you can't see with your physical eyes. Ancient beings, ascended masters who have watched over humanity since before recorded time, they're not just observing you anymore, they're actively working on you, with you, through you. And this work, it's preparing you to hold something that just months ago would have completely overwhelmed your nervous system. Let me paint you a picture of what's actually happening, because once you understand this, everything else will start to make sense. Imagine for a moment that you're not just a physical body having a spiritual experience. Imagine that you're a multi-dimensional being temporarily focused in a physical form, and right now all of your dimensional aspects are going through a synchronized upgrade. Your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body, your etheric body, every layer of your existence is being recalibrated. This is why you've been feeling so strange lately. This is why nothing seems to satisfy you the way it used to. You're literally becoming a different being at the cellular level. But here's what I haven't told you yet. This cellular transformation isn't happening in isolation. It's connected to a massive cosmic event that's been building for eons. You see, Earth herself is ascending, moving from what we call third-dimensional density into fifth-dimensional frequency. And you, dear ones, you volunteered to be here during this transition. You volunteered to be the bridges, the translators, the frequency holders who would help humanity make this leap. This is why your nervous system is being rewired. This is why your DNA is being activated. You're being equipped to handle frequencies that are about to flood your planet in ways unprecedented in human history. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and I need you to pay close attention, because what I'm about to share connects directly to that miracle I mentioned. You know how you've been feeling more magnetic lately? How there's this strange allure coming off of you that you can't quite explain. Some of you have noticed people staring. Others have felt this internal shift towards sensuality and pleasure that feels almost foreign to who you used to be. This isn't just about becoming more attractive in the conventional sense. What's happening is that you're beginning to emanate a frequency that others can feel but can't understand. You're literally vibrating at a higher octave, and it's creating what we call a resonance field around you. This resonance field, and stick with me here because this is important, it's directly connected to your capacity to receive. And when I say receive, I'm not talking about small blessings or little synchronicities. I'm talking about a complete restructuring of your relationship with abundance itself. You see, there's something your spiritual teachers on Earth haven't fully explained to you. They've told you about raising your vibration, about becoming more spiritual, about transcending the material world. But what they haven't told you is that the highest spiritual mastery actually involves going deeper into matter, not escaping from it. This is why so many of you have been feeling this inexplicable pull toward nature lately. Some of you can't stop thinking about putting your feet in the earth. Others are having dreams about forests, oceans, mountains, natural landscapes that seem to be calling to you. You might have noticed that when you sit by water or walk barefoot on grass, you receive downloads, insights, knowings that seem to come from nowhere. This isn't your imagination. The earth herself is participating in your transformation. She's not just supporting you, she's actively co-creating with you. Let me tell you something about this earth connection that might surprise you. Your ancestors knew something that modern spirituality has forgotten. They understood that the Earth is not just a planet. She's a living library of consciousness. Every stone, every tree, every body of water holds information, holds frequency, holds keys to your awakening. When you feel called to be in nature, it's because specific locations are calling to you. Locations that hold exactly the frequencies you need for your next level of activation. Some of you have been drawn to the same spots over and over again without knowing why. That's because these places are your personal power spots. Portals where the veil is thinner for you specifically. But wait, there's something else happening that I haven't told you yet. Something that might explain those spider encounters some of you have been having. Whether you've been seeing actual spiders, dreaming about them, or just noticing spider symbolism everywhere you look, this isn't random. In the cosmic tapestry of consciousness, spider energy represents the divine feminine creator force, what the ancient ones called the grandmother of the void. She who weaves reality from pure potential. When spider consciousness shows up in your reality, it's because you're being initiated into your own creator powers. You're learning to weave your own web of fate, to consciously create, rather than unconsciously react. And here's the deeper layer of this spider medicine that's working with you. Spiders are master manifestors because they understand the art of patience and precision. They don't chase their desires. They create the perfect conditions for their desires to come to them. This is the level of manifestation mastery you're being initiated into. You're learning to stop chasing and start attracting. You're learning to weave your energetic web so magnificently that everything you need simply finds its way to you. But this requires a level of trust that your human self might find challenging. It requires you to stop looking at your life like one big to-do list and start seeing it as a work of art you're creating moment by moment. This brings me to something that might challenge everything you think you know about spiritual evolution. You've been taught that money and spirituality don't mix, that focusing on material abundance somehow diminishes your spiritual progress. But here's the cosmic truth that's been hidden from you. Money is simply crystallized energy, and your capacity to receive it is directly proportional to your capacity to hold frequency. The same channels that allow you to receive divine guidance, spiritual insights, and cosmic downloads are the exact same channels that allow material abundance to flow to you. This is why your root chakra has been going through such an intense activation lately. Some of you have been feeling strange sensations in your legs and feet, an almost primal need to connect with the earth. Others have been experiencing what feels like electrical currents running through your lower body. This isn't separate from your spiritual awakening. This is your spiritual awakening. You're being prepared to be a vessel for overflow, but not in the way you might think. You see, true abundance isn't about having millions in your bank account, although that may very well be part of your journey. True abundance is about being so connected to the flow of life force energy that you always have what you need when you need it. It's about trusting so deeply in your connection to Source that you stop operating from lack and start operating from overflow. And this shift, this is what requires the death of your old self, because the you that believed in limitation, the you that operated from survival mode, that version cannot hold the frequency of true abundance. Now I need to tell you about what's happening while you sleep, because this is where things get really profound. Those of you who've been having incredibly vivid dreams, who wake up feeling like you've been somewhere important, but can't quite remember where you're not imagining things. Your consciousness is no longer confined to your physical body during sleep. You're literally attending mystery schools in other dimensions, receiving upgrades and activations that your waking mind can barely process. These mystery schools aren't new. They've existed since the beginning of time, but only certain souls have had access to them. What's different now is that the veils between dimensions have thinned so much that more of you are gaining entry. You're studying with beings who exist in pure light form, learning technologies of consciousness that will soon become part of your everyday reality. Some of you are being trained in healing modalities that don't exist on Earth yet. Others are learning how to work with the planetary grids, how to be conductors for the new frequencies coming in. This is why that moment right before you fall asleep has become so potent for you. That liminal space between waking and sleeping, that's when your consciousness is most fluid, most able to travel between dimensions. The divine is literally planting seeds of new realities in your consciousness during these moments, seeds that sprout throughout your day as synchronicities, opportunities, and seemingly miraculous alignments. Some of you have been getting your most profound insights in the shower or bath, when you're near water, Water amplifies this connection, helps you receive the messages more clearly. And let me tell you something specific about water that your scientists are only beginning to understand. Water is not just H2O. Water is a living consciousness that responds to your thoughts, your emotions, your frequency. When you're in water, you're in direct communion with one of the most powerful conductors of consciousness on your planet. This is why so many of your spiritual traditions involve water. Baptism, ritual baths, holy water. The ancients understood that water could literally wash away old frequencies and help you embody new ones. But here's something that might disturb you at first, though I promise you it's actually the most beautiful part of this whole process. You're not just transforming, you're dying. Not physically, of course, but energetically. You're going through a complete death and rebirth cycle. That version of you that was rooted in lack, in limitation, in survival consciousness, that version is being composted, returning to the earth to become fertile soil for your new self. Some of you have been feeling this acutely. It's like you're attending your own funeral, grieving a self that no longer serves you. You might have even had visions or dreams of burying your old self, of laying to rest the person you used to be. This isn't morbid. This is sacred. This is the ultimate alchemical process. And here's the part that will blow your mind. As you bury this old self in the earth, you simultaneously rise from that same soil. But you don't rise as you were. You rise as something entirely new, a being who has integrated both light and shadow, who no longer fears the darkness because you understand it as the womb of creation itself. This death process is happening on multiple levels simultaneously. You're dying to old belief systems that told you that you had to struggle to survive. You're dying to ancestral patterns of lack and limitation that have been passed down through your lineage for generations. You're dying to collective programming that says you have to choose between spiritual fulfillment and material success. And with each death comes a corresponding rebirth into a more expanded version of yourself. This integration of your shadow is where your true power lies. You see, for lifetimes, humanity has been taught to transcend darkness, to seek only the light, to rise above the messy, complicated parts of being human. But the cosmic joke, and it really is a joke when you think about it, is that your greatest magnetism comes from embracing all of it. The reason people can't look away from you lately isn't because you're all love and light. It's because you've stopped apologizing for your depth, your intensity, your raw, authentic power. You've stopped trying to be palatable. You've stopped dimming your frequency to make others comfortable. And paradoxically, this unapologetic ownership of all that you are, light and shadow, human and divine, earth and cosmos, this is what's making you absolutely irresistible to the universe itself. Opportunities are seeking you out. People are drawn to your field without knowing why. Resources are finding their way to you, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. But let me share something with you about this power, something that could save you from a trap that many awakening souls fall into. This magnetism, this authentic power you're stepping into, it comes with a cosmic responsibility. When you truly understand that you're a fractal of divine consciousness, when you really get that you're here on a mission that impacts the entire collective, it's easy to develop what we call spiritual ego. It's easy to start seeing yourself as special, as above others who haven't awakened yet. Here's the paradox. The moment you place yourself above another, you actually lower your frequency. True power, cosmic power, comes from knowing your divine nature, while simultaneously honoring the divine in everyone, even those who are still sleeping, even those who trigger you, even those who seem to be operating from a completely different reality. This is mastery. This is what you're being prepared for. And speaking of preparation, let me tell you what's really happening with all these symptoms you've been experiencing. The exhaustion that sleep doesn't seem to cure, the strange cravings for foods you don't normally eat, the need to be alone even though part of you craves connection. These aren't random. Your body is literally calling for specific molecular structures that support the integration of higher frequencies. That chocolate you've been craving, it contains compounds that help your nervous system process the increased light quotients flowing through your field. That overwhelming need for alone time, it's because your energy body needs space to expand without the interference of other people's frequencies. You're in what we call a cosmic cocoon right now. But unlike the butterfly metaphor you're familiar with, this isn't a one-time transformation. You're going through multiple metamorphoses simultaneously across different dimensional planes, and each time you think you've completed the process, another layer reveals itself. This is why some of you feel like you're going in circles, like you're dealing with the same issues over and over. You're not going in circles, you're spiraling upward, addressing the same themes at higher and higher octaves of consciousness. Let me tell you something about this spiral journey that might help you when you feel frustrated with your progress. In the cosmic understanding of evolution, nothing is ever repeated exactly. When you find yourself facing what seems like the same challenge again, you're actually meeting it from a completely different vantage point. You're like a hawk circling higher and higher. You might fly over the same territory, but each time you see it from a higher perspective, you understand it more deeply. You integrate it more fully. Now remember when I mentioned at the beginning that you're being prepared for a miracle? It's time I tell you exactly what that miracle is, because it's not what you think. The miracle isn't something that's going to happen to you. The miracle is what you're becoming. Every cell in your body is being upgraded to hold more light, more information, more consciousness than ever before. You're becoming a living portal, a bridge between dimensions, a vessel for frequencies that humanity desperately needs right now. But here's the kicker, and this is where everything comes full circle. This isn't just about your personal transformation. Every upgrade you receive, every frequency you integrate, every shadow you transform, it all contributes to a larger cosmic event that's unfolding on your planet right now. You are not ascending for yourself alone. You are ascending as part of a collective of souls who agreed, before incarnating, to hold space for humanity's evolution. This is why it feels so intense. This is why the stakes feel so high. Because they are. You're not just working on your own stuff. You're transmuting patterns that have been held in the collective consciousness for millennia. When you heal your relationship with abundance, you're healing it for your entire lineage, past, present, and future. When you integrate your shadow, you're making it easier for others to integrate theirs. When you step into your authentic power, you give others permission to do the same. And this brings us back to where we started, to those strange symptoms, those irresistible pulls toward solitude, those moments when you feel like you're becoming someone you don't quite recognize yet. What if I told you that all of this has been perfectly orchestrated? What if I told you that every moment of confusion, every dark night of the soul, every time you felt like giving up, it's all been preparing you for what's coming next? You see, the miracle you're being prepared for is already in motion. It started the moment you began feeling that strange magnetism emanating from your being. It accelerated when you started honoring your need for solitude over social obligations. It deepened when you began having those vivid dreams and receiving those downloads in the shower. And now you're approaching the moment when all of these seemingly separate experiences converge into a unified understanding of who you really are and why you're really here. Some of you might be wondering about the timing of all this. Why now? Why this intensity? The truth is, there's a cosmic window open right now that won't remain open forever. This isn't to create fear or urgency, but to help you understand why everything feels so accelerated, so intense. Your soul knew this window was coming. This is why you incarnated when you did. This is why you've been feeling this building pressure, this sense that something big is about to shift. Because it is, and you're one of the ones who came here specifically to help anchor this shift into physical reality. The cravings, the exhaustion, the need for solitude, the magnetic pull people feel toward you, the spider synchronicities, the earth connection, the vivid dreams, the death and rebirth process, they're all part of the same cosmic orchestration. They're all preparing you to hold and anchor frequencies that will literally change the trajectory of human evolution. You're not becoming better than others. You're becoming more of who you've always been at the soul level. You're remembering your cosmic origins while fully embracing your human experience. And here's the final piece, the one that brings everything together. That miracle you're being prepared for. It's not a single event. It's a way of being. It's the ability to live simultaneously in multiple dimensions while remaining fully grounded in your human experience. It's the capacity to hold massive amounts of light while staying humble and connected to the earth. It's the power to manifest abundance, not from a place of lack, but from a place of overflow. It's the gift of being so authentically yourself that your very presence gives others permission to be authentic too. This is what you're becoming. This is what all the preparation has been for. And the most beautiful part? You're not doing this alone. Those ancient beings I mentioned at the beginning, they're with you every step of the way. The Earth herself is supporting you. The entire cosmos is conspiring to support your transformation, because your transformation supports the transformation of all. Destiny Engine is the gift of divine creation that can reprogram your consciousness to feel the ancient beings with you every step of the way, and recognize Earth's constant support during your transformation. Using advanced AI, this gift of divine creation creates custom sequences that strengthen your awareness of ancient being guidance and deepen your knowing that the entire cosmos conspires to support your transformation. If you are ready to feel the ancient beings and cosmic support that's with you every step of the way, get your Destiny Engine access code now. Link in the description. So the next time you feel that pull to cancel plans and stay home, honor it. The next time you crave chocolate at midnight, eat it with the understanding that your body knows what it needs. The next time you feel like you're dying to who you used to be, celebrate it, because it means you're being born into who you're meant to become. The next time someone stares at you like they're seeing something they can't quite understand, smile, because they're recognizing the light you're beginning to embody. You are the miracle. You've always been the miracle. And now, finally, you're ready to know it, own it, and live it. The preparation is nearly complete. The chrysalis is beginning to crack, and what emerges will not only transform your life, but will ripple out to transform the lives of everyone you touch. Because that's how we change worlds, not through force, but through frequency, not through doing, but through being. Remember those strange cravings, that magnetic pull, that need for solitude I mentioned when we began? Now you understand. They were never symptoms of something wrong. They were signs of something magnificently right. They were your soul's way of telling you that you're ready for what's next. And what's next is going to exceed even your wildest dreams. I am Seraphine, and we love you, and we are watching over you as you become what you have always been destined to be. The miracle isn't coming. You are the miracle, and now finally, you're ready to live as one.